So today I want to share with you a really simple lesson with your driver. Now I know that this can help you hit the ball straighter, longer and more consistent. It's really going to help you if you're someone who leaks it out to the right. Maybe it's a fade, maybe it's a slice. Now this is a lesson that I've done multiple times, but I'm going to share with you how I used it with Ben, who was really struggling with his drive. We're going to show you some before swings, we're going to show you some after swings, and I'm going to talk you through the drill, which is really simple. So Ben was really struggling with driver swings that were kind of curving off to the right. He was losing a lot of distance, obviously missing a lot of fairways, and he was really struggling to control that. And you can see his golf swing on the screen here. Now, what we spoke to Ben about was, look, the principles behind your golf swing are the same for every single golfer. Every single golf swing has got some amount of down, some amount of out, and how you blend the two is what's going to give you your swing shape. Let me explain what I mean. So when we make contact with the ball, obviously the golf club is going to be down here by the ball. We're always going to find the centre of the club. But when we make a backswing, just look where the club head is relative to where it started. My club head from setup has gone up into the air, clearly, and relative to the ball, it's gone this way. It's gone behind the golf ball. So for me to make a downswing, my golf club has to do those two things in reverse. It has to go down towards the ground because that's where the ball is, and it has to go out towards the ball because that's where the ball is. So how we blend the down and the out is what's going to give you your swing shape. Now have a look at Ben's golf swing here. What he did from the top was really common. There's going to be so many of you who have this same sort of swing shape. He got to the top in a pretty decent position. It was maybe a little bit longer than I'd like to see it, but he had far too much of the outward movement before he started to introduce the downward movement. And look what happens to my club and its delivery relative to the golf ball. It's going to be cutting across the golf ball. Now we know that when your golf club cuts across the golf ball, it's that gives it the spin. It's that means you miss it out to the right. You could actually be missing fairways on the right hand side, and at impact your driver face could be pointing exactly down the middle of the fairway. But if the club is cutting across the ball, you're putting spin. And that's that spin that causes you to miss fairways. So we've got the full swing kit here behind me. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try and demonstrate kind of what Ben was doing up to the top, adding all the out, then adding the down. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, I am not seeing that golf ball again, but let's have a look at the club path. So you can see the club path there, 3 degrees out to in. Okay, that's not going to get it done. An attack angle was minus, so I hit down on the golf ball. So here's what we did with Ben, and I'd love you to try this little exercise. Now, we use this impact bag. Get a little creative. Get a cushion or an old gym bag or something. Just fill it full of a sheet or old clothes, something like that. I'm going to use this impact bag here. You can kind of buy these. And what we did with Ben is got him to set up, and I placed the bag round about here, sort of just behind his heels. You can see where that is there. And very simply what I asked him to do was go to the top of his golf swing, make this kind of full turn, and then I asked him to hold his shoulders, hold his chest, hold his back facing the target, and very simply thump the bag with the driver. I need to move it a little bit further right. It might take you a couple of seconds to set this up. So this was the instruction. Make a backswing, hold the body in position, thump the bag. Thump the bag, thump the bag. This was the first job. This was the first thing that I gave him to do. And why was this really helpful? Well, look at what the arms are doing relative to the body. His arms were moving down towards the ground relative to his body. So what was I introducing? I was introducing more of the downward. And I was introducing that really early in the golf swing. Think about your driver head in the downswing. It's got some speed. Its direction is pretty consistent. Okay, look at the trace of any driver swing, it's consistent. You're never ever going to see a driver swing where the driver head goes this way and then suddenly makes aggressive changes in direction. It doesn't happen. So if we want to change the shape of the downswing, we've got to change it from the top. It's got to change early. It's no good if you start this way, it's too late. So, my phone's falling over. As he was doing this, now I know what many of you are going to say. You're going to say, well, you've lost all the angles in your wrist. But look where the driver is relative to the ground. It's on the ground. So I need to have lost the angles. What happens if I add in my turn? Well, there's impact. So I needed to have lost my wrist angles because that's how I hit the golf ball. So this was the very, very simple exercise. Hit the bag, hit the bag, hit the bag. His arms are going down relative to his chest. Then what I asked him to do was hit the bag 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And on the next time, just turn through to the target. So what he did is he moved the club down towards the bag, but he was turning towards the target. And what happened? He missed the bag, and we got this beautiful swing shape. Okay, why did we get this beautiful swing shape? Because I changed the relationship of down to out. I added more down, his body created the out. It was so simple. And it was really, really great to see that little exercise transform his golf swing almost in the very next swing. So on this particular occasion, I'm just going to chip this ball. It's only going to go, 30, 40 yards. But I'm going to show you how we sort of scaled this up. So it was a case of going 1, 2, 3, and then through. Now that wasn't the best strike and it didn't go particularly far, but you could see the different shape. Look at my club path there, 4.8 degrees into out, and I hit up on the ball by 1.3 degrees. If you change your swing shape and you work on hitting straighter drives, you will also more likely hit up on the ball. What does that do? Gives you more distance. That's the bonus. So you can hit it straighter and longer with this little exercise. So the last thing I want you to do is think about how you would then build this into a golf swing on the golf course. That was obviously a training exercise. That's what we did on the driving range. Well, very simply, think about where your arms are at impact. Okay, if I go to a good impact position, have a look at where my lead arm is relative to my chest. You can clearly see the logo on my top. Okay, what about the top of my golf swing? Well, that logo is hidden. Okay, so the relationship between your arms and your body has to change in the downswing. If my arm stays pinned across my chest, there's literally no way of me creating a good impact. So in the downswing, my lead arm has to slide down my chest. That's a great swing thought for any of you who do struggle with that shot out to the right hand side. So what did I have him do full speed? Well, I had him do exactly that. I had him up to the top, and as he started down, I wanted him to slide his lead arm down his chest. Where was that club going? Down towards that bag that we had during practice. And as he's doing that, that's adding in the downward. As he turns his body through, that creates the outward. So let's hit one and let's see if we can achieve that path which is more out to the right and an attack angle which is more up. So high draw, wind's actually pushing it a little bit back to the right, but what does the number say? Perfect. So you can see here, club path 5.6 degrees out to the right, and attack angle 7.3 degrees up. I'm going to take that every single day of the week. So downswings are always made up of some down, some out. Get the blend correct, and you'll hit the driver better.